Okay.
It's not too crazy far.
Let me get into my comfy spot. Hello,
look,
dear
see,
friends.
we get to here, it's not that bad.
Okay.
It appears further back when it's smaller,
Okay,
so that's
that's
actually
fine.
not bad at all.
Hello, friends. Welcome to this week's episode
brothers.
of Hollywood Matrimony Live. Make sure you check out our website, hollywoodmatrimony.com. Thank you so much for watching us right now on YouTube and Facebook. You can also find us on the Twitter and the Instagram. Over to you in the studio.
Aye.
All right. We're going to talk about some movies.
Oh, I didn't realize I was still wearing this shirt. Oh, well.
What's wrong with your
This is my
home shirt?
Yeah, these shirts are my home shirts, and every so often I wear them at home, but they're not what I would normally wear
on the show,
on the line, or out in the world.
Oh, well. That's okay. It's just
us.
us.
This is home relaxed shirts.
It's just us.
We're going to move my computer
Us
around.
and a few friends.
You can see
all right,
we
guys.
got our special guest, Billy the Puppet, today.
Uh-huh.
We have Jason, we have Freddie. We got like a whole horror setup.
We do. We're into horror.
Yeah, clearly. Oh, this is not related to the show or anything, but since you mentioned horror, I figured out the next big character I'm going to make.
Oh, okay. What is that?
It's going to be the kid from Trick or Treat.
Okay.
With the pumpkin head.
Yes.
Because they sell the costume for children.
Oh.
Put on the child mannequin that we have.
Yeah.
And then you just make a freestanding one.
That'd be awesome.
I just need a head for him, but his head is just that pumpkin type thing.
Yes.
So we just stuff it. And then I'll need arms for him because I don't think that thing has arms. So we make arms for it. That way he can hold his lollipop in his trick or treat bag. It'd be a good one. And another we can just leave set up in here or whatever. And that's one more thing out of our studio.
There you go.
Right? Boom.
Yes.
Anyway.
That's the thing is trying to get things cleaned up and put away and put in place. And
because we have a home gym that's essentially my garage is converted to the home dojo / gym. Because I teach virtually now, but we also train at home. So we got our weights and our mats and our ski bags.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get corona'd.
Yeah, so we all this stuff. So we've been.
And I just don't trust that. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I know they're like through droplets. But how do we know droplets doesn't include sweaty men at the gym?
Well, what's crazy though is that wasn't planned because of Corona. We were already building it prior to Corona. And just ironically, my hair is glorious.
You need a haircut before we get locked down again.
Right.
You better go. I cut my own hair. See, I got some new layers happening. Noticeable. I cut it myself. It looks
all right.
good.
Anyway, so what we got today, sister?
Anyways, we have a lot of movies to talk about. You would think being quarantined there wouldn't be any, but
quarantine, as Leslie Jordan says.
So why don't we stop here from the bottom up? Because this one I keep forgetting about.
Okay, so we've seen a few things. A couple of them are brand new for this week. One of them's an older film that's been around for a while. And then another one comes out next week.
Right.
So, all right. So we'll talk about it.
We're going in random order.
All right. So the first one we're going to talk about is a movie we actually watched
a couple of weeks ago.
Like a couple of weeks ago, because I was supposed to do an interview. Is why we watched it. Then the interview stuff fell through. The first time I couldn't end up doing it. The second time they couldn't do it. So it just kind of fell apart. But it's a movie called Force of Nature. And it's coming straight to digital and on demand. And I think I don't know if it's hitting Blu-ray and stuff or not, or if it's just, I think it might just be the whole limited release thing this week, but it's on Tuesday. But it's Force of Nature starring Emile Hirsch and David Zayas, that some of y'all would know from Dexter.
Dr. Zayas.
Not Dr. Zayas, David Zayas.
But mine's funnier.
And Mel Gibson.
Oh, you were waiting for me?
I was waiting for you to stop talking.
Oh. That's never going to happen.
I know. And Mel Gibson. And it's an action thriller, force of nature kind of stuff. It reminded me of that movie Hard Rain. Do you remember that movie?
I don't know. I was thinking it was the other movie of the name that I said. You're like, that's already a movie.
Oh, Hurricane Heist?
Yeah.
That is a movie.
That's what it was.
If I'd remembered Hurricane Heist, I think that's what that movie is called.
Yeah.
If I remembered that one, I would have thrown it in the review. But I did mention Hard Rain, which I believe was Christian Slater, and I forgot who else. But
Am I not allowed to have products out?
You can do whatever you want. But it's
if anyone asks, I do love diet caffeine-free 0-calorie root beer from A&W. So that's my special treat for today. Sorry, I keep interrupting you. I love you more than everything in the whole world.
Don't lie. But Hard Rain was a movie where there was like a flood, and so these people started robbing the church or something. They were stealing like
relics.
I don't remember exactly, or it could have been a bank or whatever. But they were
church, a bank.
Well,
whatever.
I remember them holding up in a bank, but I don't remember if they were robbing something from the church or if they were just using the bank at the church as a safe haven. I think Morgan Freeman was in it too.
Oh,
anyway, Force of Nature is essentially that movie. They're in, where did we decide? Puerto Rico.
They're in Puerto Rico.
And it's a couple of police officers. Emil Hirsch plays like a discredited police officer who had gone through some stuff, and then he's now, whatever reason, a police officer in Puerto Rico, partner. But a hurricane hits, and which is a force of nature. So they're clearancing out. They've been given the job. They need to go get this apartment building, get everybody out of there and evacuate.
And I don't understand how come when there's a hurricane and there's these evacuation orders, why people won't leave.
Well, a lot of it comes down to people they're afraid to lose their homes, and then if you live in an area where they think they're going to be looting, they're afraid people will steal their stuff.
Yeah.
So I get both sides of it, but at the same time, and some people just don't think it's that bad. They're like,
I know.
I've lived through 14 hurricanes. This one's not any different.
Yeah.
You have to say different.
Different.
But anyway, and in the midst of cleaning this out, they come across, Kate Bosworth is in this, who's her husband also directed this film. But they come across her, and is she his daughter or just his caretaker?
It seemed like just a caretaker. Well, no, it was his daughter. Right? The daughter.
All right, so she's the daughter of Mel Gibson's character who refuses to leave.
He's one of those people.
But then I think he has a reason for not leaving.
Yeah.
It's kind of shady business.
There's some shady stuff.
So, needless to say, there's something in the apartment building. There's like 2 or 3 other characters. There's something in the apartment building going on, and so the little criminal organization people show up because they're trying to get something and steal something from the place, and madness ensues. So what did you think, madam?
It was interesting because it kind of throws you in and you don't really know what's happening, the way the movie started to me.
Yeah.
And it was one of those like, oh, is it going to jump back in time or is it just here? It was confusing at first, but we got it. And so then we're going through the story. And at that point, I'm like, where's Mel Gibson? Because his face is all over the thing.
But I will say he did not end up being like a small cameo.
No, once he shows up, he's in it through the rest of the film.
Yeah, because a lot of times that's known as they take a star's face, it's got one scene.
Yeah.
And they sell the whole movie, but I don't know if you can do that with Mel Gibson anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
he's really good in the movie, though. I liked him in the movie.
Here's the thing that's probably controversial, my friends. I like Mel Gibson movies.
I do too.
I think he's a great director and he puts out good stuff. I think he's a
good
actor.
Shut.
He's a crazy person. I'm not saying he's not. He's a crazy person.
I'm the same way. And we were talking about this the other day. We
know he's a hater.
There's that thin line of when, like I have a lot of friends who are the first to boycott an entire person's career, a store, a franchise, or whatever over something somebody says or does. Mm-hmm. And I don't judge them for that. If that's them, more power to them. I totally get it. But I have this other thing of separating entertainment from the person, but also all the other people that put in work. I think their work deserves to be seen. Those are the
people that sometimes just kind of get to the side and they're caught in the middle.
Yeah, because I've seen actors interviewed about working with Mel Gibson. They're like, what do you feel about working with Mel Gibson? Like, I don't feel like anything working for Mel Gibson. This is a job. And I didn't hire him, and then other people are like, I was excited to work with him. He's a great director and he's a great actor. And they're separating. It's like, we all have people that we work with that you don't like.
Yeah.
And you have to learn to get along with them. And we all have people that are racist or sexist or whatever, and you don't necessarily have to like them, but you have to get along with them for your job sometimes.
Yeah. Well, and even so, I think some people want the experience to say, hey, I got to work with so-and-so. And it's not just him. I mean, we've heard rumors of like different female actresses that are horrible to work with. Yeah. And, but everyone wants to say, oh, I got to work with them on this film. Yeah. So I don't know. I go back and forth. He's crazy, but
like in his stuff, I've never heard anything bad about him as work.
Right.
His was all personal stuff that, while not okay, I'm not saying it's okay, but it was drunken stuff. It was, things. And then there's other stories that have come out more recently that, and what bothers me about those kind of things is when all that stuff came out with his ex-wife and the police officers and all this. Okay, fine. All that kind of happened at the same time. We live in a culture where everybody's looking to destroy somebody because, and even before Black Lives Matter and all that stuff, which I'm not against that, I fully support it. People have been looking for anytime someone's successful or if they don't like somebody's political stance, they dig to try to find a way to destroy them. Mm-hmm. And when somebody that might have, like in Gibson's case, had that bad period, they like to bring stuff back up, or they like to try to take another jab. It'd be like if everybody always attacked Robert Downey Jr. for all of his drug and alcohol problems and everything else.
It's okay because he's a hero now, baby.
But he's beloved now. He got the second chance. And then some people are like, well, addiction's different than saying something this. I'm like, but it's not.
Yeah. Well, and it's even like these people that get convicted of whatever they did, and then now people pull them from their movies. It's like, when is enough, and when is you paying for your crimes now enough that you can move on with your life?
Now, it's different if you have somebody that never really answered for what they did.
Yeah.
Like there's this one guy, and I don't remember his name, and somebody else might pop up and say it, who directed, I think it might have been it might be a horror franchise I'm thinking of. I don't think it's the Jeepers Creepers guy, but it could be, where this guy was arrested, convicted, and then just kind of moved on.
Oh.
And then
he never went to jail?
I don't know if he went to jail or what happened, but then it went back to making movies. So there's been this long thing. Every time a movie comes up, everybody starts attacking it again.
Yeah.
But as a movie watcher or books or whatever, I think at some point you have to separate it, because I'm not going to stop seeing an actor I like because they might work with somebody that did something wrong. Mm-hmm. Because I don't think it's fair for them to suffer.
Yeah.
Because, and then I had this discussion with one person. They said, well, yeah, but they chose to work with them. But of course they chose to work with them. When that person's an A-list person, they could be a total douchebag. If they want to make themselves an A-list person, they got to go through certain things. Is it fair? No.
Maybe not. But then there's also the actresses. They're like, oh, I won't work with this person because of what. I'm like, okay, so that's your right too.
And I totally respect that.
You can choose either one.
Yeah, like I know people that have pulled their names off of stuff. I know people that have gone back and shared, like, hey, some movies, like there was recently, and I don't remember who it is. I'm sure somebody will remind me. There was a movie that was coming out. Never even heard of it. Hadn't heard anything about it. Only reason I know about it is because somebody shared it, said, hey, just want to remind everybody that this person's movie's coming out and you shouldn't support it because he raped so-and-so and so-and-so.
But did he go to jail?
I don't know any of this. So instead, they didn't give me any information.
Was he convicted or was it?
They just said, don't do this because he did something in the past. So now I don't know if this person did it, if it was a Johnny Depp situation where we're now finding.
I knew he didn't do that, by the way.
We've now been kind of learning that Johnny Depp, and I have not seen one thing in the press about people now exonerating him, who it's been kind of slowly proven, where he lost tons of stuff.
Well, and haven't we heard that Amber Heard is kind of difficult anyway?
Yeah, everybody says she is, but it's a case of you hear everybody attack them when they're accused.
Yeah.
But you never hear anybody come to them when they're shown that they didn't do anything wrong.
Unless it's Robert Downey Jr., because he's now a hero.
Yeah, unless it's Robert Downey. Anyway, Force of Nature.
Check out the movie Force of Nature.
We haven't even talked about the movie yet.
Online. Mel Gibson is one of the people in it, but don't let that deter you from watching it.
He's really good in the movie.
Good.
What's funny is the movie, it feels kind of like old school vibe. You could replace every actor in this movie, and it could have been a movie that was made in the 90s, and you could have thrown, I don't know, Van Damme or Steven Seagal working in there, or even Charles Bronson could have been.
Or Brosny.
Yeah, Mel Gibson character, and you could have thrown Michael J. Fox and Charles Bronson in this movie.
Oh, my gosh.
So you made Michael J. Fox take Emil Hirsch and Charles Bronson take Mel Gibson, and it would have been the same movie.
The reason to watch is for Emil Hirsch, Kate Bosworth's in it, and one of my favorite people, David Zayas.
Now, Emil Hirsch and them, Emil Hirsch and what is his partner's name? Stephanie Cayo?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're technically the leads, so the movie's more them. And then Kate Bosworth, once she brought into the mix, David Zayas, once he brought into the mix, and they're all kind of brought in an ensemble.
Not the ensemble.
Yeah. So it's an okay movie. It's pretty predictable. There's a lot of too much extra. There's like other characters that are there that they have a purpose, but you felt like you could have deleted them out of there.
Yeah, maybe.
Like there's a secret
room
that was never fully explained.
I mean,
but
it comes up, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
And you knew what they were setting it up for, and it was a fun, like, yay, but it served no purpose, really.
Yeah. Just there is some violence and some shooting and some stuff if that concerns you.
Yeah, it's all pretty generic shootouts and some fights. Nothing that makes it stand out as a great action flick or nothing, but it's moderately decent. It's worth checking out. If you're a Mel Gibson fan, it's worth checking out. You know, you get a little bit of Mel Gibson.
Or a Emil Hirsch fan.
Yeah, we don't get a lot of Mel Gibson in the world, which a lot of people are happy about, but I'm a fan of his old school action work, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited when I see a new Mel Gibson project.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Hate me if you want to.
Check it out.
I don't care. I got friends.
That's fine.
All right, moving on. It'll be available this Tuesday from Lionsgate.
All right, let's go here.
Which one?
This one.
Oh, we're gonna skip that one. Come back.
Yes.
Okay. The next one is an older movie. You misspelled it. It's an older movie.
That's why I copied it straight from your website, buddy.
I know. I misspelled it. Because I didn't know that until we started watching it. But it's a perfectly topical film for going on right now. Not quite in the right way, but dealing with the justice system and some race. Even though this really wasn't as race heavy as I anticipated.
No, it wasn't, which was good.
But again, and this is where the problem is. It was my assumption because of the story and what we've been dealing with. I assumed it was going to be that against them because of it, and that's not what it was.
It's not at all.
What is the movie, ma'am?
So this movie is Brian Banks, based on the untold true story.
Of who?
Brian Banks. And I was just crying all over the place.
Were you?
I cried like 2 or 3 times. It got me in the one feeling I have left. It still made it cry.
Well, the premise of the movie is a young man who was an up-and-coming football star. He had aspirations for the NFL and was most likely going to make it until he made one mistake that he didn't really make and was accused of rape when he was like 16, I think it was, by a young girl who was 15, and ended up in prison. Now he gets out of the movie. Is basically he's gotten out of prison. He's trying to get his life together, but of course, it's all crap.
Yeah.
So that's what we're dealing with. And so when I saw trailers for the movie, I honestly thought we were going to deal with, and here's where threw me off. I realized after we saw the finish watching the movie, there's a moment in the trailer where you see somebody getting slammed on the hood and arrested and whatnot. I thought that was him. So I thought he got arrested when he was older, and it looked like a police brutality thing too, but it's not. Because even the girl that he was accused by is an African-American young lady. So this has no race thing, but it's just a flawed legal system.
Yeah.
So what did you think of the movie, ma'am?
Oh my gosh. I really enjoyed this movie. It was so good. And I like that it takes you into the story immediately. Like we're not trying to figure out, it doesn't matter all this background stuff. We are just in our story trying to figure out what happened.
You know just enough to know who he is.
Yeah, we know the football story would happen, and then we get into everything and the prison time. And I
like that it didn't spend a ton of time in prison, because that was irrelevant to what was trying to be going on.
Right.
You get a little bit to understand his suffering.
Yeah.
But it wasn't about that. It was about something else. And I like that they did that.
Yeah. We didn't spend too much time there. But we spent enough time to see what he was going through, his mental state, how things kind of turned around for him.
The mentor that he made.
The mentor. It's interesting. I mean, like, he learned about the legal system while he was there because he was reading. He's like, I read the dictionary 2 times while I was there. I know all the words. I mean, so he took the time to educate himself.
Oh, I guess we could tell you who's in it, too.
And not just wallow.
It's Aldous Hodge, who I believe he was the same one that played MC Ren in Straight Outta Compton. That or his brother. I always mix those two up. But it's Aldous Hodge, Greg Kinnear, Morgan Freeman. Is it Sherry Shepherd?
Yeah.
Sherry Shepherd. Is that pretty much it?
Yeah, that's a big name. It. Yeah, that's who you get.
The girl that was a nurse in Mindy Project.
Yeah, she's fun.
She's not fun in this.
She's not funny in this one, though, but she's good.
Anyway.
Anywho, you got to watch it. It is a heart-moving, inspirational, you're down in the dumps, and uplifting story.
But what I liked is there's never a moment, really, that it's trying to make you feel sorry for him.
Oh, no.
They're trying to show you his perseverance to fight for the truth and fight for his life. So you never get this, and it says a lot about that guy's character in real life, if this is, how it really kind of played out, because he had every reason to be hateful and angry and mad and want revenge and whatever you want to call it, but he seemed to be more like, I don't care about all that. I just want to be free.
And that was the lesson, I guess, he learned from the mentor guy and from the book.
Because he was angry initially.
Is, I think, in everything in life, obviously, you got to let it go so that you can move up and move on.
Oh.
No, but you have to. I mean, because if you let it go,
please no,
let it go.
No,
because if you do hold on to these kinds of things, it will drag you down.
Will it?
It will. It will.
Will it?
Yes. That's why I let it go. Let it go. Let it go. What are you looking at?
Waiting for the lightning to hit from
your eyes. Whatever. I've let it go.
She don't let shit go.
I let everything go. You know why? Because I don't care.
She doesn't care until she does care.
No, I don't care.
I wish that was the truth.
Anywho, anyway. It is true. You don't know me. I've only known you for 20 years, but you don't know me.
We could flip that. You don't seem to know me very well. I'm the one that...
I forget about the pickles.
She forgets about a lot of things, guys.
And
like, I know everything about her in and out. I know exactly what she orders, what she wants, when she wants it. I take care of her. And then she asks me the same damn questions about food, about TV, about every God-forsaken day. It is exhausting, people.
It's not exhausting.
And when you're in quarantine like this,
wow. Anyway, you went real country there.
I did. That was
people are gonna think we're country.
Leslie Jordan says quarantine.
How y'all doing?
If you want to see a really funny Instagram page, you need to go to Leslie Jordan's Instagram.
He's so funny. I need to get me.
He's a little actor. He was on the Cool Kids and Will and Grace, and he's a funny man. But his Instagram has become my daily life. I go in there and watch his little things every day. Anyway,
check out the movie Brian Banks. It is available now on Amazon Prime. You need to watch it. It's important. You need to know your stuff.
It is. It's very funny. I mean, not funny. It's very moving. It's very powerful.
Got me in the feeling.
But it shows also the importance of like perseverance and also standing your ground, because there's so many elements of like his biggest mistake he ever made wasn't meeting that girl. His mistake was not having the knowledge as a child and trusting someone else who didn't really know what they were doing as well, in his lawyer.
Yeah.
Because the part of the thing was him making this deal and then the deal not getting, and that's part of where the justice system is jacked up.
Yeah. And they didn't tell him everything.
Yeah, and then once everything's set in stone, there's near impossible to change it, and that's messed up too.
Yeah, because I feel like, especially like when you get those court-appointed attorneys, you need to be your own attorney. You have to suddenly understand how the law works, and he didn't know. He's a 16-year-old kid, and the judge is like, well, if you plead this, you understand that you're going to do this, and you have to do this, and he's like, what? Nobody said that. Yeah. So.
Well, and I also think I don't believe that the entire justice system is what's the word I'm looking for?
Flawed, broken.
No, it is
corrupt.
flawed. I don't think it's broken. I don't think it's all corrupt. But I do think there's a lot of problems. And the problem is that a lot of the stuff that's put in place was put in place during different time periods. This isn't as relevant to now, which causes issues. They don't always move the laws up to match the new laws that are made. So you get people that are convicted for crimes and doing all this time, and then they might have made some, like, let's say marijuana. Somebody's convicted for 30 years for selling marijuana. Then you're allowed to open a dispensary to sell marijuana. So it's like, they don't go back to those people and say, look, we've changed the law.
Yeah. Well, I think, though, too, a lot of it has to deal with
race.
Something called
systematic racism.
Thank you. So the system, if you didn't know, I'll send you a little video. I'll post it here. The lines, the way city lines are drawn, the way funding's given to cities, the way educational lines are drawn, and the way funding's given to schools, it's all mapped out to keep this group of people in your little spot. You stay there, this group of people here, so you stay in line. And then if you really research it, because you're staying in this little group, you never have the opportunity to get over here. So you're just like pushed down.
Well, you know what's funny is we
it's all
outside
related.
Of us really wanting to see this movie, we watched it on purpose because we thought it was relevant to today.
Yeah.
Even though this one wasn't a powerful race movie, it's still dealing with the flaws in systems and things going on, and it kind of, it's interesting. I've had a lot of people, that I'm sure everybody has seen, where they're complaining about so many people changing things and changing names of stuff now and thinking like, what does it matter? What does it matter? And a lot of it, you're right. It probably doesn't matter in bigger thing. But like I was reading, I don't know if I told you about this or not, or if you've seen it, but there's this whole thing of like the real estate market right now where they're looking to pull the name master bedroom and master bathroom out. And the reason that is because that name comes from, that was the slave master's bedroom when you had a house. Lord, but I know, but I'm saying, but
I know, but
what I'm talking about
much.
And it's too much. But my point isn't that I agree or disagree with that. Is that so much of that systematic racism has been embedded into our psyche, into our culture, without us even realizing it. Most of us don't know when you think of master bedroom that that's for the master. Yes. You think that's just the parents' bedroom, so whoever's in charge of the house.
Yes.
Because it was.
It was. And you know what? This reminds me, y'all need to go watch the TV show Ugly Delicious.
Yes.
Because it gets into that.
Like food is the same way.
The food is the exact same way. They were talking about the history of fried chicken, which you think, oh, I love fried chicken. But when we get to the slavery part, you're going to be like, oh, I don't think, And then just even the idea that some people won't go eat traditional, like Chinese, like real Chinese food, because it would be gross to them.
Yeah.
And how sometimes the scales of what's considered fine dining would never be in an Asian environment because they're like, eh.
Yeah,
it's all in here.
Yeah, there's that one episode talking about like, why isn't Chinese food considered fine dining? Even though
lots of or Vietnamese, like who eats Vietnamese food? We do, or Korean food? We do. But I mean, because we've been
we eat everything.
We eat everything, but I love all these different.
But
things.
see, both of us came from worlds that our parents don't.
No, but I think through all my travels.
Well, and see, prior to the job when you traveled, you were very limited when we met.
I was so limited.
Whereas I grew up, I was limited for my parents, but then my best friend and most of the people that I actually were around growing up were Hispanic. So I was getting introduced to the Hispanic culture food, like real stuff with menudo and lingua and all that stuff. And even when we met, I still didn't eat lingua and that kind of stuff.
Oh, but I make it good. So.
And then, is that right? But my small window outside of that was my dad liked Chinese food. Mm-hmm. But it was always like the buffet or
see, that's not real.
Which you don't know.
The American version.
Yeah, you don't know until you grow up and you go somewhere and you realize this is not the same thing. Like I love Italian food, but it's not the same thing in Italy.
No, it's completely different.
At least where we were at. I mean, there may be elements.
I'm sure there's different
styles. I wasn't happy. I was so excited to eat in Italy, and then I was like, not so much. It took me like 3 or 4 days to find stuff I really liked, the way I liked it and the way they made it and change it. And it's the food is embedded into racism. The terminologies we use that we think are very simple, they actually have so many
connotations.
Yes, thank you. It didn't come out.
Like when we're over there and we're eating, like in Thailand, and we're eating Thai food, like it's different than when you come here.
Yeah, the Thai food does not taste the same.
Or even like when I was in Greece, like the one Greek restaurant we have actually kind of tastes like when I was in Greece. But typically all you're going to get is a gyro, and like that's not really Greek.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I mean, it is.
So it's just interesting how it's all, the cultures and a lot of it starts in with the systematic racism, but then the laws are flawed based on, and a lot of it's looking who they want to argue with, because even the parole officer that he deals with in the movie is like, we were talking about how the whole system is set up. Forget race part of it. The system is set up so that once you've done something wrong and been convicted of it,
they're looking for
it's a failure. There's no look to help you push forward. How do we make it better for you?
Mm-mm. And you would think, like, at that point, part of the parole process is like, you're supposed to be looking for a job. Why don't they help them with like job training, or like, hey, I know this person that actually hires. And you know what convicts.
It is? It's a case of the bad apple bunch situation, because you have so many of the convicts or the criminals,
a lot of
that are real criminals.
I know,
they're going to come out and be criminals again. So I think there's that disconnect that they have now been brainwashed into thinking you cannot help any of these people. They're all criminals. And so instead of them looking at each individual case, they look at the whole, and then in turn so many people suffer that shouldn't. So
yeah, I have to look it up, the percentage.
Anyway.
Well, and then in case you didn't know, now like the highest percentage people in jails are Latinos. But again, we were talking about why are there not more brown people like Latinos out protesting? Because we're scared of getting deported, even though we're from here. Like my mom, I'm from Texas, guys. My mom is from Texas. My grandmother's from Texas. I mean, we are like super Texan. But even so, my mom called me that one time, and she's like, "I'm gonna get a copy of your birth certificate for you and your brother in case you get pulled
when
over."
the ICE stuff started happening?
Yeah, because the fear is real. Like, I am so Texan. I love Texas more than anything here. But I do. We're the best state in the whole place. For real. Except maybe Hawaii.
We are. We got the number one Alaska. Corona things going on. We're winning.
We're done. Well, it's because there's a bunch of hillbillies. I'm sorry if that's offensive, but it's true.
Well, see, and that's what sucks is, and
the people that like that's why we want protests.
We'll move on from this, but that's the thing is, like, I grew up around Hispanic people, married to a Hispanic woman. I know this is a shocking turn of events.
What?
Most of my, not most, but a lot of my friends growing up were of other races than white. But I grew up with a white family, white parents. You know,
your parents are very white.
I saw all this stuff, but even then, I never had to deal with what everybody else is dealing with. You know, like I know I've been guilty of inappropriate. I'm inappropriate things across every board. I'm pretty sure because I'm that guy. But I've never had malicious intent, and that doesn't make it better. But that makes you at least wonder, how many times have I offended somebody when I had no intention to offend somebody? But I also know I can walk outside and I never once wonder, am I dying today? Yeah. Am I getting, if I see a police officer pull me over, I've had that one time, well, twice, that I thought, crap, this could go horribly wrong. And one of them was like 2 years ago. And that was when all the stuff with the police officers started happening. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it wasn't a race thing, police officers
got shot here. And
there was a mix of the way I look in daily life, not my race, but me, with the tattoos and the earrings and the car I was driving and music I had playing and all these kind of things. And then when the officer got out, instantly saying, "Okay, I'm going to give you my wallet." I started hearing all my friends and the people that I know. My instinct was like, my wallet is in my bag in the back of the car. And they're like, "Okay, we'll come out and get it." I'm like, I am getting out of the car now. And I'm white.
No, right? That's what we're trying to do.
I know, but I'm white.
And put your hands up here.
If that's making me think that and go through something like that when nobody did anything to me, I can't imagine what
it's scary.
You know what our friends and people like you deal with.
Well, I mean, because in case you don't know, most brown-skinned people are given a talk. So Latinos and Black people for sure, of what to do when you get pulled over. Like, you just put your hands out there and you say everything. I'm like, yes or no, sir. But even so, I mean, violence happens. But even so, you try to do the best you can. But then for me, my dad was always like, don't look them in the eyes. Because in my dad's mind, from where he comes from in Guatemala, kidnappings are a thing. Like in Mexico, anywhere in Central South America, kidnappings are a thing.
Where here it's disrespectful to not look somebody in their eye.
I know.
So it's that double-edged sword. It's
like, don't look them in the eyes because they could kidnap you, and because they're police, there's nothing we can do to get you back. So I'm like, okay, don't look. I'm like, yes.
And then they're like, why are you not looking at me? You know, like, it makes you look more.
I know. So I'm like, I don't know what to do.
You look like you're on speed. You're like.
Luckily, I haven't been pulled over in years. The last time was maybe 6 years ago.
I know, but the funny is, at the risk of sounding racist, she's whiter than I am.
Am I?
In behavior and that kind of thing.
You're more thuggy.
I do. When, you know, I go and teach karate class, I'm in a karate uniform. They see tattoos, but the way I talk and the way I'm acting. But I'm in the real world, I don't look the same. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not like as bad as I was in that element, but you know, a lot of times I have a hat on, and I know a hat shouldn't mean anything, but it changes the way you look. And you know, I have 8 tattoos, and I used to have more ear piercings, and you know, I know, right?
So graceful. Anyway, so check out the movie
Brian Banks.
We keep getting off on tangents tonight, but you know what? We haven't seen anybody.
Well, I'm tired of talking to this one.
I mean, I go to my office and I sit in my corner away from everyone. So
I go nowhere.
Distance. I'm still going to work. But do you think they're really going to shut us down again?
Well, I saw somebody posted something about, it wasn't the mayor this time, but it was a district judge who was telling. They were saying that they were telling the mayor to either try to get everybody to do a new stay-at-home order or give the counties approval to make their own decisions to do that.
Well, you know, Dallas County will do it because that guy's really strict.
Well, and it needs it because nobody's listening.
Oh, well. So check out the movie Brian Banks, available on Amazon now.
And I don't get to go anywhere because my job is here.
Yeah, see, and I have been going to work, but like I said, I wear my mask, I get there, I sit in my corner.
Yep.
So.
Anyway.
All right.
All right, moving on. Let's talk about something fun.
This one.
The next two we got are fun, I promise.
Sorry.
So the next one we're going to talk about is been a long time coming. This movie has been trying to come out for, I think, 2 years now.
Oh, my gosh.
Kept getting pushed back. It had whatever reason. I don't know why it initially got pushed back, but it got missed a couple times. Finally had a release date, and then the Rona got it. Thankfully, much like the movie Lovebirds, somebody jumped in to save it, where Lovebirds had a similar situation. It ended up going Netflix. In this case, Amazon jumped in and took it. And so if you have Amazon Prime, you can watch this one for free as well. It is the movie not I Spy. The movie My Spy, starring Dave Bautista.
And a little girl.
Chloe Coleman, I think is her name.
Chloe Coleman.
And what's her Shaw? Is it Rachel Shaw?
This lady, Kristen?
Kristen Shaw. And Ken Jeong. Ken Jeong's actually... Ken. Yeah, Kim Jong's actually a smaller portion, so he's not
Kim Jong.
He doesn't get to do the crazy Kim Jong stuff this time around.
No, he's kind of the straight guy.
But it's the kind of movie that they do to every single action star when they become popular.
Yeah, you have to do one kid friendly.
They always slap him with a kid. They got so there was
the worst was
Vin Diesel with the pacifier. They did The Rock with that girl from Game Plan.
What was Tooth Fairy? Who did Tooth Fairy?
That was The Rock as well.
That was not okay.
That was not a good time during The Rock's career because he was doing a lot of.
But he needed to get
Game Plan wasn't bad. Tooth Fairy was bad.
Tooth Fairy was bad.
Tooth Fairy was not as bad as the sequel to Tooth Fairy that started Larry the Cable Guy.
Oh my gosh! I don't think I saw that.
You're probably a better human for it.
All right, I'll go watch.
See Larry the Cable Guy and his tutu and stuff was pretty funny though. Anyway, so this movie's called My Spy, and it has a very exact storyline you think it does. It's a special ops operative agent type of guy on a mission, and for whatever reason he ends up in a situation with this little girl. It's very much like, to me, it was very much like Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah, pretty much.
Same idea.
Exactly. It's exactly like Kindergarten Cop, isn't it?
Almost on some levels, yeah.
But I love Kindergarten Cop.
Well, I do, and here's the thing. Pacifier I thought worked okay.
Yeah.
When that came out. There's one Jackie Chan did, I think didn't work very well. It was a similar thing. I think Game Plan worked okay.
Yeah.
I think Kindergarten Cop is probably the one of all of them that was a hit. Now there's been like 2 or 3 Kindergarten Cops. One with Dolph Lundgren. But
excuse me.
To my surprise, I thought this movie worked really well.
Yeah.
I like Dave Bautista.
I do. I love Dave Bautista. I think he's super nice. I think he's just a nice human being.
Well, here's the thing with him is I think he's also evolved as an actor because he keeps taking on really diverse roles. Yes. You know, he obviously
I think that helps.
He obviously has Drax in the Marvel movies, which I was really bummed out they cast him because originally Jason Momoa was going to play Drax. But now I can't see anybody else playing Drax but him.
Yeah, I agree.
And he really looks more like the comic.
Yeah.
But early on he was doing excuse me, the normal wrestling thing where they kind of transition into films.
Yeah.
You know, he did The Man with Iron Fist, which we loved.
Yeah.
He did Kickboxer Vengeance, where he played the new version of Tong Po, which I didn't expect him to be good in that, and he was. Then he showed up in Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah.
A very small role. What was that other one he did? Oh, he did Master Z with Tony Jaa and Max Zhang.
Yeah.
You know, so he shows up in all kinds of stuff. But
the
thing is he doesn't take himself too seriously. And I think that's what makes him work, is be able to show his humor side. He did Stuber.
Yeah. Oh, that is one of my favorite. And then I like that they're friends now.
Yeah. And,
that is so cute.
And that's the thing is he is a beast of a man.
He is very, very big.
He's big height-wise. He's big
muscle-wise. And, I was looking at when he was in wrestling, he was like thicker. Now he's like that slim muscle. Yeah.
But he's
huge.
He's a huge man.
I imagine he'd be like this.
So when a huge man like that, it's kind of like, he has the same thing I think The Rock has. Yeah. He has that vibe of, excuse me, Lord.
Oh my goodness. Are you okay? I didn't burp the
Sorry
baby.
about that. That's right. he had a vibe about him, but he's willing to make fun of himself, but he does it in a way that it's not mocking himself or anybody else. So he's fun to watch.
Yeah.
But you also still respect him. It's not like what happened to Hulk Hogan when Hulk Hogan started making a bunch of the dumb kid movies. Yeah. They just became bad. Yeah. You know, and not that Hulk Hogan was ever the greatest actor, but he had a trajectory happening.
He had something happen.
And then it went into crap town, and I think it was the projects he was getting in.
Yeah.
So
anyways, I'm just looking at some fun facts about him.
Let's talk to the audience.
The other thing I like about this is how well he gets along with the little girl.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's like giant man, but he actually gets along, and I feel like they have a really good relationship.
I got to show you some stuff that I saw on his Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Of promo stuff with him and the girl. It's really funny.
Oh, that's cute.
But he seems,
I just thought he did such a good job.
He seems one of those guys, like, I've gotten to talk to him once via Twitter.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because he's the one that, remember, he did Riddick with Vin Diesel.
Yes.
And I reviewed the movie, and I liked Riddick.
I did too. I like both of them. Too bad.
He sent me. I was excited to get a tweet from him, but it was also very sad because that was an early movie for him. And I talked about how I liked the movie. I thought Batista was good. And I thought Vin Diesel was good in the movie, but the tweet wasn't "Thank you for the great review." That was in there.
Yeah.
But the tweet was "Thank you for not personally attacking Vin Diesel." Because you know how people do. They get in there and they start, not necessarily just Vin Diesel, but they start attacking someone's sexuality or their life or this,
Lord.
And they're like, what does that have to do with Riddick?
What does that have to do with the movie?
You know, and I'm like, you're very welcome. I said, I'm a fan and I liked it. So anyway.
Yeah, because I liked those movies. I know nobody else did, but I don't
The second one's but they're supposed to be making a fourth one.
I don't care. I like what I like, and I don't care. How about that?
But this one could have easily gone wrong.
It could have gone bad, but it was good. And that one lady is so funny.
Kristen Schaal?
Yeah.
She is hilarious.
She's so funny. I love her.
And here's the thing.
I think she's cute, too. She's got
everybody in this film had good chemistry with Batista.
Yes.
Because they're the people that should not work well with Batista were perfect. So the little girl and him had a great relationship.
Yes.
You believe in the situation.
Yes.
And even though him and Kristen Schaal's partnership is dysfunctional,
for sure,
it still works. Like I would love to watch a movie with just them running around on missions. So funny.
I like her. She's funny.
She's hilarious.
And then is this the mom lady?
I think so.
He did good with the mom lady too.
And I know he posted something about the one thing he really loved about making this movie was the diversity.
Yes.
Because, you have so many characters here that are not just white people.
No, it's a black lady and her daughter. And then we got some Russian people. We got Ken Jeong. And he's Asian, actually.
Yeah, he's Filipino
and Greek.
Yeah.
So he's Filipino. So, I mean, we got some good diversity, which I do like, too.
And there's some fun action. There's over-the-top action. There's comedy. There's heart.
Yeah, there's some things that are just kind of over the top. You just got to let it go.
Yeah.
Like, that's all action movies. And then I think my second favorite are the gay couple across the hall.
Oh my God, they were funny.
They're always trying. It's so funny because he's like, my husband's a therapist, but the therapist never talks.
He never speaks.
My husband wants to know why.
He's a great listener.
I love it. They are so.
The best
cute.
line in the movie that she just died, and I had to ask her. She was laughing so hard I didn't hear the line. And it was when they see Dave Bautista, I think the first time, and he's wearing a plaid shirt. What did they say?
He's like, what are you wearing? Are you trying to be like the brawny man? And he's like, we got to change it. So they start changing him. They ask him about an ascot. He's like, what is that? And oh my gosh. So he shows up and he's like wearing this cute pink shirt with like a little scarf and everything. And the ladies ask him, he's like, the neighbors queer-eyed me. So, from queer eye for straight guy.
That's
so
funny.
It's so cute.
But I like that this movie's very reminiscent of, like I said, the kindergarten cop element where you have the big, rugged, tough guy. But even with something, the action and stuff isn't as, I don't think works as well as like kindergarten cops action, but it doesn't matter because it's fun. But like there's even a moment in one of the trailers where Batista gets a knife thrown in his leg and he's just like, ow.
Yeah.
And it's trying to establish he's so powerful and above all these other people in that department, but he's so weak in everything else.
Yeah. It's fun.
But the little girl is really good. Chloe Coleman, she carries her part really well.
And then I like the scene with the dancing that you see in the trailer. There's more to it. It's hilarious.
It's like
and I was reading, he used to be a breakdancer when he was a teenager.
I'm not surprised by that at all.
It's so funny. Okay.
Anyway,
That's all.
My Spy is available now on Amazon Prime Video.
Watch it now.
If you have Prime, it's included, so check it out. It's a fun movie for the whole family.
It's fun.
I really had fun with it. I was really hoping it was going to be good because I've been looking forward to it because I like Batista. And knowing that it worked, it made it all the better for me.
There you go. Watch it now.
All right. Okay. And then our final film was something we knew nothing about.
Oh my gosh.
So this next movie was a revelation, I guess, on some level.
Totally. We learned so much.
Okay, so the movie, in case you've never heard of it, I'm going to tell you the title first. I'm going to explain what the promotions that came out, and then we'll go into it.
Yes.
It's a movie called Eurovision Song Contest, The Story of Fire Saga. That's a mouthful.
It's a lot.
Now, when the first promo that I saw, and I think it was the first one that came out for this, it was a video, which we didn't know at that time what this was.
Yeah, no idea.
But it was a video of Will Ferrell dressed as a Viking and Rachel McAdams dressed as some kind of a Viking princess, I guess, in the theater. And they're walking across the mountains, and there's the ocean and elements. And it was like this Nordic Viking song. And I was like, I just thought it was something funny they made because of quarantine. Yeah, they made this funny thing, and I didn't think anything else about it. And then I heard about this movie. Well, that was essentially a clip from Eurovision, the movie.
Yes. So
we decided to watch it. It's a new movie on Netflix. It also stars Pierce Brosnan. I guess Graham Norton has appearance in it.
Yes.
We'll leave it at that. Dan Stevens is also in it. But it hit Netflix. We were like, I'm a Will Ferrell fan. I know a lot of people are over him. I find him funny.
Yeah.
She knew nothing about it.
No idea, but I'm there.
So as we're watching this movie, we come to the realization, because sometimes we watch movies, I'll go look up at home.
We start looking at things.
I'll look up facts or something about it because it further makes me enjoy the movie, but also from our reviews and whatnot. I don't do that at the theater like some people I know. I do that when I'm at home watching a movie. Yes, we looked it up. Well, as we're watching this, we discover that Eurovision Song Contest is a real thing we knew nothing about.
It's a real contest. It is a songwriter singer contest that's been happening like every year since 1956. Okay,
yes. We knew nothing about this.
Go look it up. Eurovision Song Contest. You'll see their website, and it has the picture of every single winner for the past forever.
And the reason Will Ferrell has made this movie, because he wrote it as well.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
He became obsessed with this show. His wife's Swedish.
Eurovision.tv.
And he went. Did I say she was Swedish? Right?
She's Swedish.
She's Swedish, and he went to her cousins or something and was introduced to this show. Fell in love with this show so much that he went to Denmark to the finale of one of the shows, and then even went and followed the show from one of the productions from beginning all the way till its end, including the first auditions.
Yeah.
And so in turn, he turned this comedy film on, and we were just like, we just thought it was a silly.
No, he's paying homage to this real Eurovision Song Contest. It's crazy.
And when I went into this movie, because I knew a little bit about it and then you didn't, I honestly thought it was going to be this over-the-top parody stupid movie.
No.
And that is there.
It's a little bit funny and over the top sometimes.
It's funny and it is ridiculous at times.
I feel like it's really a heartfelt homage to his love of this thing.
Yeah,
it really is. And their singing was good, but we found out.
His was him.
His was him.
But his wasn't very good, but it's okay. But the other ones were actually other singers. But there's a lot of musical performances in this movie.
It's fun.
And there's only one actress that's in the movie that we know that's her singing.
Yeah.
But the rest of them that show up singing are actually, most of them are singing except for some of the leads. But they're all previous contestants or winners of that show.
Yeah.
Because there's a moment at a party and they break in a song. I don't remember the song now.
They sing some ABBA. They sing some Beyonce.
I Got a Feeling song.
Yeah, they sang a bunch of stuff.
Whatever the song. Anyway,
they sing. It's like they
break in a song, and then all these different people keep popping up at this party and starting to do their verse and singing, and we're like, who are these people? And there's some of the strangest looking outfits and personas, and found out that they are all the different contestants and people from different countries that perform.
Yeah, it's really interesting. So, in looking up this whole Eurovision thing, all of the different countries in Europe participate. One act gets through. So they have like their local country contest, and one act gets through, right? So you send your best person to represent your country, and then the countries that participate get to vote, and they vote their 8, 10, and 12 points, and they can allocate them however they want. You can't vote for your own country. Whoever wins, you host next year. It's a whole thing, and all that gets covered in the movie, and I'm looking it up like, that's how it really works. I'm like, oh my gosh, he really knows how this show works. And it's so funny because we're watching it, and you're like, okay, so why are they singing again? I don't get it, because you don't watch any of these things.
They annoy me because none of them make any sense.
I watch The Voice, and I get it.
None of it makes any sense.
And yeah, so I adore this movie. I want to watch it again now, especially since it's on Netflix. Yeah. Right? It's free,
and it is very funny. It very much reminded me of some of the older Will Ferrell stuff, like Talladega Nights.
I love this movie now.
Blades of Glory, where he ties into like a quirky, weird character, because he makes fun of himself like the normal Will Ferrell stuff, and he's the embodiment of the character. So he's the one that you can poke fun of. You can be silly at without making the rest of the show and disrespectful to the Eurovision thing or any other people. So like Rachel McAdams' character, even though she's kind of weird and quirky, she's still a very straight-laced character.
Yeah. And it's so cute. If you go to the Eurovision site, they didn't have it this year because of Corona. But one of their top stories is this movie coming out.
Yeah, so they're still getting their focus for the year.
You know, they're happy about it, and I'm glad that they could work together on something fun so everybody can get to know it. Now I got to find out, how do we watch it every year?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What channel do I need to subscribe to?
Dan Stevens was my favorite in the movie because he's despicable, but he's so bizarre. You can't help but want to see him. And it's his performances. Like, I like Dan Stevens anyway, but when he's performing, it's just weird homosexual thing, but he's not a homosexual.
And she asks him, she's like, are you gay?
And he's like, what? Why? What? But the whole thing is whips and guys humping him. It's so weird, but it's very European.
So it was like, yeah, ding dong.
But
ding
it's
dong.
Weird, but it's also European-like.
Yes, you know? I love it.
That's why it's so.
And I love it. They make fun of Americans, which is hilarious. Because he's like, why don't you go to Starbucks? She's like, oh, where's Starbucks?
He goes everywhere. He goes everywhere you look. He goes, don't you have some crack again? Or
I love this movie.
What do you say, crystal meth? He goes, don't you need to go find some crystal meth?
Oh, man.
It is a funny movie. And again, it has heart because it's really not about the contest. It's about
their relationship.
It's about this one guy's dream to do something to make his dad proud. It's this other lady's dream to want to do something with this guy, but also has feelings for him. So there's so much more there than just the contest. And I would have never thought I would have bought into Rachel McAdams and Will Ferrell being a potential love couple.
And man, I kept getting her confused with Amy Adams
Everyone does.
Isla Fisher. All of them, they all confuse me, but she's so good in this movie too.
She is. It's a great movie, man, and it's really funny.
And Pierce Brosnan looks hot.
Yeah.
So I mean,
and it's funny as him and Will Ferrell.
He still looks good.
They're only like 13 years apart in age.
Oh, but Pierce Brosnan's like sophisticated.
But he's got this epic beard in the movie, so it makes him look more rugged. Good. So I bought into him being Will Ferrell's dad.
And I like Will Ferrell's hair like this. He just has long hair.
That's not his real hair.
No, I know, but when he has like his other hair, he looks older.
His little afro-y hair.
Yeah, he needs to have like this cute long hair all the time. It's good.
I was just gonna say the opposite. I think Will Ferrell's finally starting to age.
Yeah. I like him though.
And I like that every movie he always has to put himself in some kind of a skin type outfit, and he's not built for that.
And he doesn't even care.
And that's why he does it, I'm sure, is because he knows he's not built for that.
Well, and then there's one part where he's like topless and like his belly's hanging out and he's all hairy and stuff, and I'm like,
and that's in every Will Ferrell movie.
And he's all like, he's checking himself out, and I was like, oh man. But you know what? That makes that confidence is what makes it for some people. That is important. Be confident in yourself. Even if you're, like my mom says, it doesn't matter if you're skinny or not skinny, because she doesn't call people fat. She'll say it doesn't matter if you're skinny or not skinny, or if you're tall or not tall.
That's how she gets away with insulting you by not saying the word that's insulting.
I'm not tall and I'm not skinny, but that's okay.
Oh, that's
Anyways,
funny.
You've got to watch Eurovision Song Contest. The story of Fire Saga. Fire Saga is the name of their band.
It's on Netflix as of right now.
It is hilarious. And then go check out Eurovision.tv, their website, and go look at all the winners since 1956. You guys, how did we not know this was happening?
I don't know, man.
We're not in Europe.
Yeah, that's right. I would have never watched this stuff anyway.
It's a real contest.
And Graham Norton is really, I believe, one of the hosts / commentators, so they got him in there, and it's so good, man.
Oh, it shows you who was going to participate in 2020. Maybe it's just some
of any of them in the movie.
Is that the lady?
From who?
From the movie or no?
I don't know who these people are.
I don't know. We've got to check it out. Oh, you got to check it out, man.
Oh, well.
It's crazed. Anyways, Eurovision.
All right.
Check it out.
Well, that's all the movies we got today.
That's
so
it.
what else
Lots
we got?
of
Oh, we got to
movies.
talk about what giveaways. So we got actually 3 giveaways up right now.
Okay.
So the SpongeBob and the Gladiator reviews are giveaways are over. But have no fear, my kids. We're giving away a Steelbook, and I forgot to bring any of it here, so I apologize. We're giving away a Steelbook edition.
Now we're not going to know if these giveaways are real.
I know. Well, they're going to have to trust me. We're giving away a Steelbook copy of Friday the 13th, which I believe it's like the 40th anniversary edition or something like that. Then we're also giving away a Braveheart Steelbook 4K edition. That's right.
That's Braveheart.
And we're giving away a copy of Donnie Yen's new movie, Enter the Fat Dragon.
Wow. It's so funny looking.
It is pretty good. But that's another movie that I kind of want to watch with you so we can talk about it on here.
Okay.
But I don't know. I may do it on a Martial Art Movie Monday instead, but we can still talk about it here.
Yeah,
It's a movie that I thought was going to be ridiculous, but they take it pretty serious.
Okay, good.
So even though it's silly. Anyway, so we have those 3 giveaways on our site right now.
All right.
And a few more to come.
Do you have your movies coming? What did you eat that's giving you the burpees?
Did I have lunch today?
Yeah, we ate lunch.
No, we had Chinese food for lunch.
We support all. It was Panda. So
yeah, it's not really. It's fast food.
And I think your orange chicken's better than Panda's.
I will agree with you.
Yours is a little spicier.
I will agree because it's homemade. It was delicious, and it was made by.
And I make my own fried rice that I can control how much soy and nice egginess gets in it.
She's not looking. I put more soy in it.
That's fine. But I like to put lots of egg. I like eggy rice.
All right, go ahead, sister.
Are you going to not tell me what movies are coming out? You normally do yours and then I do mine.
Oh, okay. I thought the just opposite for whatever reason. Okay, calm down.
Fine.
No, I'm going now.
Okay.
All right. So there's one movie coming out to Blu-ray. I don't know if it's actually still getting released or not because I think this was the original date. But I thought I got it bumped back. But I'm going to tell you anyway. It's an animated film called A Dog's Courage. Looks pretty entertaining. I was supposed to get a copy, but it never showed up. But everything happened. I believe it's Shout Factory.
Shout
is bringing Orca the Killer Whale to Blu-ray. You know what Orca the Killer Whale is?
I know that orcas are killer whales.
Orca the Killer Whale is basically a Jaws movie, but with a killer whale.
Nice.
Which that one I used to prefer over Jaws, but if I go back to watch it, it's probably not that good. And of course, Force of Nature that we talked about is hitting Blu-ray and DVD this week. And I think those are all the big ones. I think a lot of the other stuff is random. So it's not that much stuff going on right now.
We're gonna watch this where it's like buy tickets. Hold on, sorry.
What are you doing over there?
Just
stop looking at things that have nothing to do with our show.
It does have stuff to do with the show.
But it don't.
All right, so coming out. See, when this is limited, does it mean it's actually going to come out online, or is it just?
It's mixed now because it could come out on digital and on demand, but then some theaters are opening and then there's still drive-ins open, so some theaters are showing them at their drive-thru.
All right, well, if you find this looks really interesting. It's called The Outpost. It's based on a true story, and it has Scott Eastwood and Orlando Bloom. So I'm already in.
Excuse me.
So we'll have to see. The big thing that I know everyone's excited about, which I am too, because I've not seen it. We've not seen it. You and I are going to like it. It's Hamilton the musical, filmed from the Broadway stage version. Coming on Disney Plus. The original cast. So I'm excited. I've not seen Hamilton. I've only heard stories of it. So we'll see.
And if you don't know, Hamilton is like a hip-hop musical. Yes, about the story of Hamilton. So there you go. I'm going to learn something. I'm going to learn some history. You won't learn. I will learn. You won't pay attention. There's this movie with Ethan Hawke that looks interesting. It's called The Truth. Again, it just says limited release. I don't know how that's going to be. Yeah. And then this one is the other one, John Lewis, Good Trouble. It's a documentary. I believe. They've sent me a bunch of stuff on it. Social activism, civil rights, voting rights, gun control. Yeah. It's going to be interesting, and it's timely to what's happening in our world now. Are you not going to show what's coming out on July 3rd? Hamilton. They said July 3rd at the bottom, so others coming out. That was what was coming out on July 3rd. I don't know if she got everything. It looked like there was a thing if you scroll down and you missed, but I don't know. I don't think I did. Let's go. This is July 3rd. Okay. I saw something about it looked like it. Oh, there was something else. Okay, yeah. Sorry. This one. This dude. Right.
All right. Well, that's it. Then. Thank you so much for watching our show, for sticking with us through our silliness and our ramblings on. Oh, say somebody likes the giveaways. Yay. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching us right now on Facebook and YouTube. You can also find us on Instagram and on the Twitter at Hollywood Matter, MATR, because Twitter limits your character count. Don't forget to check out our website, HollywoodMatrimony.com. And as previously mentioned, go to the top, hit the contest button so you can get free stuff sent to you. Woo! Free stuff. What do you got on your side?
I'm not going to lie. I have no idea if we're doing Martial Art Movie Monday or TV Tuesday this week, because we've been trying to plan it, man, and things have not happened.
And there's so many good things I want to talk about.
Now, this last week we had, was it this week? Yeah, this week we had a good excuse. We met our grandbaby for the first time.
I'm so excited.
So that took up the part of the day. And then we'll be honest, we finished that up, and then
I forgot.
We forgot it was Tuesday after that. That little baby hypnotized us.
She's so cute.
With her
She's
crazy
got like
face.
the longest legs, and I was grabbing her legs and making her kick Bobby like. She's cute.
She is super cute.
All.
And we're so blessed that she's cute, because I will tell a baby if it's ugly.
Some babies are not pretty.
If I see an ugly baby, I'm like,
she's super cute. She's cute. Good job.
Anyway, but yeah, so I'm not gonna lie. I'm planning to do a show tomorrow, and we're planning.
I'm planning.
I got like Tuesday, a stack of stuff
sitting
here.
I have so much to talk about.
I got a stack of stuff sitting here for TV.
We haven't talked about Phil. We haven't talked.
This is all TV Tuesday stuff.
Yeah, I have not talked about anything that I've been watching.
So I've been holding on to it. So watch out and see if we show up. But if not, we'll be here for another episode of Hollywood Matrimony Live next Sunday, because we are dialed in for you guys.
Or for this like show. This one guy told me today.
Who told you that?
This one, I was in the parking lot of the grocery store or wherever I was today. Went to Sam's, and I went there, and I'm like, "Go ahead, dude," because he was crossing the street. He's like, so I was like, hey.
I do that to people too. So, and I'm not even from anywhere.
We're not from Hawaii.
I'm not from anywhere with Hawaii or surfing. But anywho, all right. So that's gonna be it then. So everybody have a wonderful week. Be nice to one another. Listen to people. Try to improve yourself, and try to help improve the world for other people. And watch out for the corona. It's getting worse before it's getting better.
Yeah.
But we'll get better if you wear your mask and you stay at home and stop bothering people.
For sure.
And if you come around me and you try to sneeze or cough in my face, I'm going to punch you in the throat. I'm telling you right now. So,
all right. Thank you so much for watching.
Don't be a Karen.
Peace be with you all.
Don't be Karen.
Oh, Lord.
All right. Bye.
Bye.